the decision to leave Hawaii. So I want to make this video for you guys on the process I did on moving away from Hawaii. So I wrote everything down and hopefully one of my videos can help someone in the future. So let's get started. Okay, so the first step you gotta do is you gotta decide. So I'll use myself as an example because if you already don't know, I moved to Texas. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out the Texas map and I'm gonna show you guys just how big Texas is, and that's why it's important to choose and decide where you're gonna live in Texas. And this is Texas right here. Look how big it is. So Texas has like big cities, right? They have little cities, but they have like big cities. And Dallas, Fort Worth, we got San Antonio right here. We got Houston. Where's I'm not sure where Austin is, but you see how big Texas is? So the first thing you gotta do is decide where you're gonna live in Texas. So I decided to live Dallas, not directly in Dallas, but somewhere near Dallas. I'm not gonna say that, but you gotta decide because they have like big cities. Like, oh, there's Austin, so they have big cities like this, and you gotta decide what city you wanna live, and that's the big thing that you gotta really think about in Texas. Okay, so once you decide what city you want to live in now, now you gotta choose the small cities. You see all these small cities right here, like all this McKinley, Frisco, Plano. Texas has over 1,714 cities, according to my note. And if I'm off a little bit, that's a lot. That's a lot of cities. So Dallas has like all these little cities right here. We got McKinley, Frisco is a growing city right here. We got Plano, we got Allen here. So you just gotta choose what little cities that you want to live in. You don't want to live in the main cities. I chose not to live in the main cities. I chose to live outside Dallas. So once you decide, like let's say you decided to live in Flower Mound or Carlton right here, right? Now that you decided that, you gotta do research on that particular city. So you gotta YouTube it. And when you YouTube it, you gotta go like this, okay? Let's say don't just YouTube the Texas Carlton. You gotta put like Texas Carlton vlog or Texas Carlton like update, okay? Because if you do that, if you don't do that, you're gonna get like real estate people. So let's like example would be like Texas Carlton. Sorry, it's gonna correct me. See, you'll get these ones. So you'll get the real estate guys. So you gotta do like when you do how is it to live in Texas, you gotta put like Texas update, and then you're gonna get a different type of people. So don't go to these kind of stuff. Well, you can, but this is like more like housing market. You gotta go to like people who move to Texas, see like the real cost of Texas, like all that. You gotta read, watch and absorb from people, the real people who move to Texas and their experience. So like this, like cities, like this one, I watched this one, I watched this video right here, and then like how I moved to Texas with no money. You gotta watch all this and watch the process on what they did. And yeah, just watch a lot of videos, go on Reddit, go on Pinterest, read a lot of YouTube comment, ask around, and you will definitely be able to form your own opinion on what cities you want to live in. And that's what helped me. When I was looking for a place to live in Texas, like cities, I chose I looked up the living expenses and schooling, all that. And also my wife Yui, she did the same thing. She looked at the schooling for my daughter, safe place to live for my daughter, nice hotels, nice apartment or housing for my daughter. You gotta do all that research, guys. You gotta do all the research, which leads me to step 2, and that's to get nagged from your wife to get a job. Just kidding, guys. That was my own personal step. But step 2 is to make an account on Indeed.com or ZipRecruiter.com. Okay, so this is what I did when I was looking for a job in Texas, is that I made an Indeed account. I uploaded my resume, and here's what it looks like. So you have this screen, right? Indeed.com, you find a job, and you just put like Texas Frisco. Let's go with that. And so many jobs are gonna pop up when you put that. And you can put like keyword, like let's say hotel in Texas, Frisco, right? And they'll say right here like Frisco, Texas, general manager, all position. And so that's why it's important to choose what little city you want to work in and live in, so you can work into that little city. All you have to do is upload your resume. And I cannot emphasize this enough, guys. If you're gonna move from Hawaii to somewhere in the mainland, you have to make a cover letter. And why is that important? Because in the cover letter, you have to put that you're relocating to another state. I had this issue. I didn't make any cover letter, so I just put my regular resume, and I was getting phone calls from Texas. But then when they were called, they're telling me, oh, we can schedule an interview with you like today or tomorrow. And I'll have to tell them like, oh my God, like I'm not even in Hawaii, like I can't come. And they were like, oh wow, well, we can't do anything about that. We're actually kind of hiring right now, and you need to be here for the interview. And I was like, oh man, so I made a mistake by not making a cover letter and not being clear that I am relocating from Hawaii to Texas. So make a cover letter, guys, so that way it's easier for them to read like, oh wow, this person is from Hawaii. And it's easier for you, instead of telling them in the middle of the phone call, be like, oh sorry, I cannot come because I'm in Hawaii. You know, you're wasting their time, and you don't want that to happen. So make an Indeed.com or ZipRecruiter. They're both good, whichever you like. Is the good thing about it is that they send you notification on the email that you use. So check that out. And that's how I found my job. That's my rice, and I'm gonna go turn it off right now and keep making the video for you guys. Okay, so step 3. Well, it's just a waiting game. You just gotta wait for the email. You just gotta wait for the phone call. And that's all you have to do. You're gonna get a lot. I'm telling you, you're gonna get a lot. I got a lot of emails. I got a lot of phone calls. And it was just like madness. So that's all you have to do. You have to wait for the opportunity. And when you do that, make sure if they're gonna interview you, you schedule it all in one day. I had 3 interviews in one day. So when I had 3 interviews in one day, I called off work. You gotta call off work so that way you can, suit up, get ready, prepare yourself for the interview, and just call off work. Just call off work, because you're gonna look for another job anyway. So it's okay to call off work, but that is step 3. And that's it, pretty much. That's all the steps that I did. I just look where I want to live in Texas, the main cities, and then the little cities above that. And then I made a ZipRecruiter account, Indeed.com, put my resume, put my cover letter, and then start applying for jobs. And it's easy to apply just because your resume is already in there. So just put apply job, and then they'll look at your resume, and then they'll see what's fit for you in their company. So that's the next step. And then the next one was once you make your account, just wait for the interview. Schedule the interview, talk to them, tell them, oh yeah, I'm interested and I'm from Hawaii and I want to do an interview with you. And actually the company that hired me, they were so awesome. They scheduled it according to the time, because Texas is like 6 hours ahead from Hawaii. So they scheduled me 9 o'clock in Hawaii, and it was like 2 o'clock. Sorry about my math, I can't remember, but it was like 2 o'clock in their time. So tell them that, oh yes, Hawaii is 6 years, I'm 6 years, pretty much 6 hours behind from Texas or wherever in the mainland that you're gonna move, and make it clear to them that you can do an interview around this time. And then the last one is just wait for the interview, get a job, and once you get the job, stay tuned for the next part of this video, because I'm gonna explain to you guys how to make it easier on making the process of moving to Texas. So this video is about getting a job in Texas, okay, like figuring out where you want to live and all that. So thank you guys for listening, and stay tuned for the next video.